Good morning, welcome to the session on food preparation and nutrition. So I'm Mike Taylor and I'm the Learning Development Manager for Sodexo. And I'll be joined by Bianca who's one of our chefs at RAF Halton, which is near Aylesbury. So Bianca was our chef apprentice, but is now a qualified chef and manages one of our kitchens after successfully completing a level 3 apprenticeship this summer. So we work in what's called the government and agencies segment within Sodexo, which includes over 35 military sites, police, Fire and Rescue, Scottish Parliament, Northern Ireland Assembly, the DVLA, HMRC, Ministry of Justice, and many, many more government sites. So I'm sure you have done your research in Sodexo. So what did you find out? So just a few details if you didn't sort of get the background. We are a global company. We deliver services in over 72 countries around the actual world. We have over 100 million consumers which we serve every day. 100 different types of services, so not just catering, but we do cleaning, we do hospitality, we do security, many, many more. We have about 460,000 employees globally, and here in the UK, we have 36,000 workers across 7 segments, and these include education, so we do schools, universities, we do the government agencies, we also do prisons, healthcare, and sports, leisure, travel. And finally, we also do what we call the corporate services, which is large companies like GlaxoSmithKline, GSK. We do Unilever, one of the biggest product services that you'll see advertised on TV many times. So a little bit about what we actually do.
Yeah, hi Mark. I don't think the sound is playing, but it's a good video. Maybe talk us through it.
Yeah, sorry about the sound up there. Primary sound. This is from our hospitality industry across our sports, leisure, and travel segments. You see some of the types of food we actually deliver. So we do lots of hospitality for big grounds, Newcastle United, Brighton. Got lots of hospitality regards things like Henley Regatta, Scott Race Course, Chelsea Flower Show, and this is typical type of food we actually prepare and deliver. A bit different what we actually do on our military site. So we do different services. You see there, house services, kitchen, chefs, different styles of preparation for the actual tables. And these are just a few of the people that actually work. So you see we actually do lots of things like actual waiting services, food preparation, actual services to the actual consumer every single day. Okay, so a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. So during the session, we're going to be looking at the importance of food safety and nutrition in the food preparation areas. And this includes being able to understand the importance of food safety in the workplace, know how food is ordered, delivered, stored, prepared, served safely in food businesses on their HACCP plan, and identify the different nutritional requirements for different types of customer. So we're going to be doing a little sort of comparison between the military and a patient in one of our NHS hospitals. So we have lots of things to consider. So how we actually order the food is delivery, preparing it, serving it safely to our consumers is a high priority. We've sourced food locally. Sorry, just lost me track there. And we also have to make sure we follow all our legal requirements. So if we don't, we could end up in prison. We get huge fines and our business can actually be closed down. So things like our pests. So we've got to make sure we're always clean. So when your parents say, go and clean your bedroom, do you really know what they actually mean by clean? So in food services, it is very important. So every member of our catering team has to understand about how to clean a kitchen and food areas to high standards. They'll all be involved at some stage of wiping down surfaces, sweeping and mopping floors, cleaning utensils. It's a standard part of the job, and it's also essential. Keeping pests out of our premises. So how far away are you from a rat right now? So any answers to that? How far do you think your nearest rat is? Well, it's actually probably less than 2 meters. So the environment is full of bacteria and viruses, many not harmful, but some can be lethal. It's important that we continuously wash our hands, wear clean uniforms, not come to work when ill, and protect our food from contamination. So can you tell me the 4 different types of contamination? So teachers, do your classes, are the actual pupils aware of what are the 4 different types of contamination are?
4 types of contamination. Should we see if we can, let's get one at least, guys. Can we get one in the chat box, I wonder, or maybe even all 4. Let's just give them a moment, Mike.
Yep.
I'm just having a little look, see who we have got on. Of course, big shout out to 9Z French at High Wycombe High School. I wonder if you guys can name any. Miss Birch, over to you. 2 meters away from a rat, is that right?
That's about right, yeah. So we're never more than about 2 meters away from a rat. Goodness. So obviously most of them are actually underground, hopefully. So
Pebble Brook School have come in with chemical.
Yeah.
Is that one of them?
It is.
Fantastic, we've got one. Can we get another one before we move on? Going to round up in 10 seconds, last chance to get them in. Any more final guesses before I hand up? Oh, there we go, bacteria from Pebble Brook.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So the 4 types we actually normally sort of refer to is physical, chemical, microbial, and allergenic. Okay, so stock control is always a must. So not only to cut down on waste and costs, but also keep food safe. So most fresh foods only have a 3-day lifespan on them. So if we have too much, then we have to be binned after that sort of time frame. Keeping stock to a minimum, ordering regularly reduces waste, providing we monitor use by dates and best before dates. So in Sodexo, both dates are a deadline. No food product with either of these dates can be used after that date and have to be quarantined then destroyed. So at the same time, we must monitor temperatures of storerooms, chiller units, fridges, freezers, hot plates. If temperatures get into the danger zone, it may cause harm to the consumer. So we're also aware of many sort of allergens. So I'm sure all your pupils are aware of these. So we've all heard about the allergens, but did you know that in the UK, up to 11% or 7 million people have allergies severe enough to require specialist allergy care? 13 million people below the mid-40s have 2 or more allergies. And an estimated 21.3 million adults in the UK suffer from at least one allergy. So that's a huge proportion of the UK population. So we are required by law to have the correct allergen information for any food product that we wish to purchase or for the consumers to actually take away. So menu is also important in everything we do to give the consumer choice, and variety, and to meet their dietary requirements and cultural needs. So finally, preparation. As we said, it begins right at the beginning. This is all about providing food that is safe to eat. It doesn't matter how good your burger looks, like the one in the picture there. Cross-contamination food preparations areas or the chef that has not washed their hands is so important. And any of these could potentially harm someone or even kill them. So hopefully you all received a little crossword we sent out beforehand. So if you haven't, it's there to help you sort of just understand and learn a little bit more about food safety. So if you haven't done it already, then go back to your classroom later on and try and have a go at it and see if you can actually complete the whole of the actual crossword. So how did you do if you did do it? And how safe are you? So do you fully understand what food safety is all about? So the most important thing is always being aware of the environment you're working in, and ensure you're doing everything possible to keep everyone safe. So let's now look at our main subject about nutrition. So we have all heard about our 5 a day. So burgers, crisps, chocolate. Sorry, teachers, I'm just kidding you on that one. It's important that we all have a balanced diet to remain healthy. And as you can see from the Eat Well plate, 1/3 of our diet should be made up of fruit and veg. 1/3 bread, rice, potatoes and pasta. And 1/3 all the really nice things such as dairy, meat, fish, and of course, fizzy drinks. Yes, we still need some fat in our diet and some sugar, but not too much. So the big question for you is, would you choose a bag of crisps or the Big Mac? So the question to you teachers is, if we could take a show of hand from your classrooms or in the comments box, put a C for crisps or BM for Big Mac. So whichever is highest in your group, let's see a show of hands for what we can actually get.
I'll give you 30 seconds, guys. Let us know, Big Mac or the crisps. What's the majority from your class? Mike, I think I'd have to say a Big Mac. Big Macs are the majority at Pebblebrook School. Can we get anyone else? Equal numbers from Miss Birch at Wickham High School. So there we go. Let's crack on, Mike. What were the answers?
Well, I'll come back to that in 1 minute. So we know what you actually prefer, but which one do you think is actually the healthiest option? So if we just take a second show of hands for that.
Healthiest option. What comes to mind for me is salt, but I'm interested to see what these guys think. I think I would go with the Walker's crisps potentially. That might be my guess. I wonder what Pebblebrook. Any answers from you? Big Mac. I think the guys are thinking maybe the Big Mac.
Wow. Okay. So let's take a look at what they actually contain then. So looking at the crisps, so a standard 25-gram packet of Walker's crisps. We could spend all day looking at all these different facts, but we'll just try and concentrate on a few individual ones. So it only has 132 calories in a bag, but if we look at things like your protein, it's only 5% of protein, which is about 1.5 grams. Carbohydrates is 40%, which is 12.9 grams, and the fats is a massive 56% fat in a bag of crisps, and that is 8 grams of that contents. So let's try and do a comparison with the Big Mac. So again, we'll try and focus on some figures here. So 550 calories compared to the 132 in a packet of crisps. So there's a lot of calories there in a Big Mac. Proteins. So it's hard to compare like for like in some of these things because they do actually do different figures. But this is 38% of your daily allowance of fat in just one Big Mac. Oops. We also have 45 grams of carbohydrates, which is 16% of your daily allowance. And we also have 25 grams of protein. So as you can see, it's not easy to compare as a percentage of content and other gives a percentage of your daily values. So you decide. It's up to you. I'm not going to say which is going to be the best one for you. It depends on what your diet requirements are and how healthy you are and what you can actually cope with regards your fat income content. But obviously, a 25-gram bag of Walker's crisps is a bit lighter than a Big Mac, I think. So let's go into our sort of nutrition analysis. So what we actually do, we actually cover Stoke Mandeville Hospital, which is down the road from us here at RAF Halton in Aylesbury. So Stoke Mandeville, they rely on things like healthy diets for their patients. So we have experts in Sodexo that do all the work for us. We don't have to actually calculate all these different sort of things. So for our hospital patients at Stoke Mandeville Hospital, they would have choices that comply with the British Dietetics Association's nutrition and hydration digest guidelines. So whilst our military customers, such as RAF Halton, have a special design menu that we call Mindful by Sodexo, which is designed around different levels of sugar, salt, fat, and calories. So if we look at some general figures, we can see that in different age groups from 19 to 50 and from 50 years above, there's not a lot of difference in the type of nutritional values we actually would expect in a normal diet. A couple of grams difference in protein and a slight difference in iron intake. But if we look at difference in the general public and the military personnel, you can see that we've got big differences between the actual carbohydrate. So generally, general public would be around 50% carbohydrate intake, where a military personnel must be at least 60%. But the fat intake for the general public is normally less than 35%. The military must be somewhere between 25 and 30. So it is quite specific due to their sort of daily sort of routines of exercise. And again, with protein, the general public will be 15%. The military is between 10 and 15. So to ensure the military get the right sort of balance, we have specific guidelines regarding what their food content must be each day. So we have some strict rules to what we must provide, such as 5 portions of fruit and veg every day, 2 portions of fish, which is 50% of their intake each week. 50% of dessert-based puddings must be fruit-based, such as fruit crumble. We must not add any salt to the food process. So whereas you might add in your cookery lessons, add some salt into your recipes, we're not allowed to add any salt at all. And we encourage drinking of water and less sugar sweetened beverages, such as your canned or bottled fruit drinks. So as you can see, it's not easy for one of our chefs to actually do this. We've got to make sure we have a regular routine, changing menus, and it is set every day for us by our central departments. So I'm now going to hand you over to Bianca, who's going to tell you a little bit about her career path so far and how she became a chef and how she actually completed her apprenticeship. So over to you, Bianca.
Good morning.
Hi,
My
Bianca.
name is Bianca Dumuta. Hi. I am a chef at RAF Halton near Aylesbury. When I came to the UK, I had no previous work experience in cooking, only what I have learned as a child. I joined Sodexo in May 2019 as a chef apprentice on a site that can be cooking up to 3,000 meals at any meal service. This includes an officer's mess, sergeant's mess, junior ranks mess, and the trainees mess. My role includes cleaning the kitchen, food preparation, and service area. This is critical to food safety as any dirt, dust, or debris could contain harmful bacteria and result in harm to our customers, including severe illness or even death. Checking stock and ordering, we need to check our stock daily, not just for what we have in our stores or fridges, but the expiry date of food. We must be vigilant in checking these dates, as using food that is part of use by date is illegal, and in Sodexo we could also not use any food after its best before date. Receiving deliveries. When our deliveries arrive, we must first check for sign of damage or pest infestation that may have occurred before we accept the goods, checking for cleanliness of the vehicle, that no pests are present, including mice, cockroaches, flies, so on. They are not damaged, torn packaging, leaking containers, or dented tins. They are what we have ordered. We know what they are, where it comes from, the correct ingredients. We know the allergen information and nutritional data. The goods have been transported at the correct temperature, whether chilled or frozen, and not within the danger zone or part defrosted. Food preparation. We have many different food ingredients to prepare to meet the needs of our customers, their nutritional and health needs and choices. Our menus are designed centrally with strict recipes that must be followed at all times. We must ensure the food is safe, kept chilled or hot, and avoiding the danger zone. Then we clean down and start again for the next meal service. Sometimes we will be providing special menus for function. This can be private or military functions, such as Battle of Britain Day or Burns Night, where the customer wants something specific for that event, such as haggis or a themed Indian night. My apprenticeship has helped me learn in a throw away and obtain new knowledge and skills, including math and English, health and safety, knife skills, food preparation, risk assessment, and much more. There is a lot to learn, as you can see from the slides. I have now completed my level 3 senior production chef apprenticeship and about to commence my level 4 in hospitality management. By the end of 2021, I hope to be applying for a management role within Sodexo and continue to learn and progress. In the hospitality industry, within the UK, prior to COVID-19, we are around 2,000 chefs short. There are many different aspects to the industry, from cafes and takeaways, restaurants and events, hotels and contract catering. In the UK, we can come into the industry and develop quickly through an apprenticeship, starting from level 2 and advancing to level 7, which is my aim for the future. There are also many different pathways you can take, from being a chef, going into catering management or hospitality management, moving into general management, health and safety, or even HR or learning and development like Mike. The type of organization you join can vary, and it's not always long hours, such as in my role. I do a 40-hour contract, usually 6 till 2 or 11 to 7 on a rota basis. So think carefully about your work-life balance, enjoying life and working, not working to enjoy life. And yes, there is the money aspect of it. As an apprentice with Sodexo, I was paid a normal adult wage, not an apprentice wage. Why? Because this is a skill role, and whilst you are still learning, it is hard work. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Bianca. So there's many different roles in the industry, so it's not just about the chefs, but there's lots of different roles: front of house, back of house, general management. We still need marketing, accountants, lots of different things, maintenance teams. So you can see, it's a big industry. You've seen in things like COVID, lots of mentions on the news about the hospitality industry and what we do. But we are global. We do lots of different things. So I hope today you have learned a bit more about the importance of food safety and nutrition and the impact it has on our lives. So thank you very much for joining our session.
Fantastic, Mike. Well, just a bit of time for some questions. I do wonder if there's any questions from any students whatsoever. I do wonder if anyone wants to become a chef, maybe. Have we got a budding chef out there from any of the students? We've got some comments saying great presentation. I think people really enjoyed it today. Mike, what would you say to youngsters looking to get into the industry? Why aren't there enough chefs, for example? Is that just an education thing, maybe?
I think it's because it's always been promoted on things like TV, where chefs work mainly in hotels or restaurants, and it's long hours. They're working from 7 or 8 in the morning till 2 or 3 the next morning. They never get time off. It's low pay, but it is not like that. There's lots of roles and opportunities there for development. Just like Bianca, she's developed very, very quickly. She can soon become a head chef. She can become a catering manager, go into general management. So yeah, it's for school students, a good place to start is things like we have an operation or a competition called Future Chef. Get into the Future Chef. We've had a winner before called, sorry, can't remember the name now, but we've had winners in the past who now run their own restaurants. They've been part of the competition at the age of 15, 16, and now working in top hotels or run their own, companies.
And how can we find out more about that Future Chef competition?
You could go on to, it's an organisation called Springboard Charity. Sure. If you search on there, so that's the organisation that runs the competition, or you can just email me and I'll send you more information as well.
Fantastic. And we've got a question here for Bianca, if we will you back in, please, Bianca. A good question from Pebble Brook School. Well done, guys. How do you cope with the stress of working in the kitchen?
It's not stress. It's well organized. You have the numbers when you start. You know how many people you're going to feed. You have the menu all set up. You just have to go in, cook, and serve the food. So I will say it's not stress in my kitchen, or on the side where I work, we have 4 kitchens, and it's just very organized.
You make it sound easy. I'm sure your organization makes it easy. Another question for you that's come in saying, what's been Bianca's most memorable moment so far?
I think the positive comment, yeah, I didn't have a lot of complaints in. So people like my food, and it's something that I was most scared of. Even though I do have the recipes, you do have to put a little heart in it. So I think actually people liking my food and being happy with my food was the biggest memorable thing.
And what's your favorite dish to cook?
I do like to cook stews and chilies. I don't like spicy food, but I do like to cook them.
Absolutely. And I suppose one more question for me, like, you know, where did, oh, here we go. Another question rather than mine, for Miss, saying, how have you been affected by COVID? Bianca, to you first, and maybe Mike from a business point of view, outside the kitchen.
Working, I wasn't affected much. We did have to change a few things in the kitchen, like keeping the distance, and even outside in the dining room, keeping the people safe and the safe distance. But work-wise, I work full-time, same shift, no extra work or less work. Personally, yes, it was a little hard. I have a child, so being off school and all that, it was a stress on me. But work-wise, it didn't affect me personally, because we are on a military base and it's always open.
So I've got more questions for you, Bianca. They keep coming in. Mike will have to wait. Sorry, Mike. So Bianca, has anything ever gone wrong, e.g. ingredients not turning up, so you had to change plans?
Yes, we do have that sometimes. Unfortunately, we are not responsible for well, getting the ingredients. Sometimes we are short. We do have backup recipes that we can use with less ingredients that we always have in our kitchen. So we go to the backup menu if that's the case. But yes, it was never major, like not having a big delivery coming in. It's just a few, you know, ingredients, or they substitute stuff which are similar to what we order. We do have to check online if we can use the substitute, but it was never a major problem with deliveries or missing ingredients.
Okay, fantastic. And one more question I've got here before we have to close off. What made you decide to become a chef, Bianca?
Well, it was mostly my sister-in-law found this job for me, and she is my biggest fan of my cooking at home, private. And she was like, yes, go for it. So she knew about the apprenticeship and that I can actually become a qualified chef. And yes, I apply for it. I do enjoy cooking. I never thought I'm gonna do it for a lot of people. I enjoy cooking for my family. But yes, it was a success for me.
Bianca, I think you've gone down really well this morning. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Mike, just final words from you. COVID-19, it doesn't really impact your company, is that right?
It hasn't. So we work in 7 different segments. So like sports, leisure and travel being very heavily impacted. Obviously, the football grounds were all shut down. Ascot Racecourse, lots of big sporting events. But our sort of main or 2 bigger segments, the healthcare and the military, have been operational as normal. Obviously, hospitals coping with COVID-19, been a lot more work for them to actually do. And with the military sites, again, they're operating things like the test centres. So we're doing lots of takeaway meals as well. So it's not been a huge impact. The numbers have been sort of up and down daily because people transfer between different sites. But mainly business as normal.
No, there we go. It's interesting. Really good to learn about your company today. Mike and Bianca, thank you so much for your time. Students and teachers, really good questions as ever. Well done. It's been a very good lesson. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.